He survived the abusive home where his sister was starved to death. Now the state is paying for its failures. In 2017, a tragedy unfolded in Perry, Iowa, that would expose deep-seated failures within the state's child welfare system. 16-year-old Sabrina Ray died a horrific death, a victim of starvation and unimaginable neglect. At the time of her death, she weighed a mere 56 pounds, a stark testament to the cruelty she endured. Sabrina's adoptive parents, Marc and Misty Ray, were ultimately held responsible for her death. But the culpability extends far beyond the Ray household. The Iowa Department of Human Services, or DHS, is now paying settlements to Sabrina's siblings and other abused children, acknowledging their own failures in protecting these vulnerable lives. Give a like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Marc and Misty Ray presented themselves as caring individuals, opening their home to children in need through adoption and foster care. For 13 years, they operated an in-home daycare called Rays of Sunshine, a cruel irony given the darkness that permeated their home. Over a decade, the Rays took in 23 foster children, each one potentially exposed to their horrific neglect and abuse. Sabrina Ray was one of the children who suffered immensely under their care. She was systematically denied food and water, her basic human needs cruelly withheld. Beyond starvation, she endured physical abuse, her body becoming a canvas for their depravity. On May 12, 2017, police officers were called to the Ray home where they discovered Sabrina's lifeless body. Marc and Misty Ray were reportedly on their way to Disney World with her adoptive brothers, a jarring contrast to the horror they left behind. Officer Josh Sienkiewicz, a veteran of law enforcement, described the scene as the most horrific he had ever encountered. Sabrina was found on a small mattress, wearing only a diaper and a tank top. Her body was described as nearly withered out of existence, a chilling depiction of the starvation she endured. At 4 feet 7.5 inches tall, her frame was a skeletal reminder of the life stolen from her. The legal consequences for those involved in Sabrina's death were severe, though some argue not severe enough. Misty Ray was sentenced to life in prison plus an additional 20 years, a sentence reflecting the gravity of her crimes. Marc Ray received an 80-year prison sentence, ensuring he will likely spend the rest of his life behind bars. Carla Bausman, Sabrina's grandmother, was sentenced to 20 years in prison for her role in the abuse. Josie Bausman, a cousin, received a 14-year sentence. Even Justin Ray, Sabrina's brother, was sentenced to 10 years for willful injury, highlighting the pervasive nature of the abuse within the family. Justin Ray's actions were particularly disturbing. He admitted to drop-kicking Sabrina and throwing her down the stairs, acts of violence that left her unable to walk, talk, eat, or drink. His betrayal underscores the complete breakdown of familial protection and the depths of depravity within the Ray household. The death of Sabrina Ray exposed a series of catastrophic failures within the Iowa Department of Human Services. Numerous abuse reports were filed over the years, yet the DHS failed to properly address them, leaving Sabrina and other children in harm's way. Caseworker records were often inaccurate and lacked thoroughness, painting an incomplete picture of the abuse occurring within the Ray home. Workers failed to identify patterns of abuse, missing critical red flags that could have saved Sabrina's life. In response to these failures, the DHS agreed to settlements totaling over $14 million, a significant sum acknowledging their culpability in this tragedy. $10 million was awarded to Sabrina's 2 younger siblings in 2023, compensation for the trauma they endured. An additional $4 million was awarded to a sibling who witnessed and suffered abuse within the Ray home. In 2022, $500,000 was awarded to a child from the Ray's daycare, further highlighting the widespread nature of the abuse. These settlements, while substantial, can never truly compensate for the loss of a life and the trauma inflicted upon these children. Carla Bausman, Sabrina's grandmother, played a significant role in the events leading to her death. She admitted to locking Sabrina in a room with 2 other children, a form of imprisonment that exacerbated Sabrina's isolation and suffering. Despite witnessing Sabrina's deteriorating condition, Bousman failed to seek help as she was dying, a decision that haunts her to this day. In court, Bousman expressed remorse for her actions, stating that she wished she could change what happened. She claimed to be willing to accept responsibility for her actions, acknowledging her role in Sabrina's tragic death. She also expressed missing all her grandchildren very much, a sentiment that rings hollow given her complicity in the abuse. Bousman pleaded guilty to lesser charges to avoid multiple life sentences, a decision that some view as a way to minimize her culpability. Despite her expressions of remorse, the fact remains that she was the last hope that Sabrina Ray had, and she failed to act. The settlements reached with the DHS include provisions requiring the agency to train investigators in recognizing malnutrition and neglect. This training is a crucial step in preventing future tragedies, ensuring that caseworkers are better equipped to identify and respond to signs of abuse. Scott Wadding, an attorney involved in the case, stated that this case is a small step in the right direction, acknowledging that much more work needs to be done. Ongoing litigation continues against Mid-Iowa Family Therapy Clinic, an organization that allegedly ignored abuse warnings related to the Ray family. The clinic denies any wrongdoing, and the case is still pending, highlighting the complex web of responsibility in this tragedy. Wadding's firm is donating $300,000 to the Children's Rights Clinic at Drake Law School, a commitment to supporting legal advocacy for vulnerable children. Sabrina Ray's death exposed systemic failures within the Iowa Department of Human Services, failures that allowed horrific abuse to go unchecked. The settlements reached with the state are a step towards accountability and a recognition of the need for reform. However, these settlements are not a substitute for justice, nor can they erase the pain and suffering endured by Sabrina and her siblings. This case highlights the complexities of child abuse and neglect, underscoring the importance of vigilance, accountability, and a commitment to protecting vulnerable children. Sabrina Ray's story serves as a stark reminder of the consequences of inaction and the urgent need for systemic change within child welfare systems. We must learn from this tragedy to ensure that no other child suffers a similar fate.